morning, good evening, good afternoon, or whatever time this stream is finding you. You're back again with your gracious host, Cowboy Chris, with another installment of Recover the Ball. This is the show where we meet at the intersection of healing, hope, and having a good time. Because you know what we do here is we talk Cowboys football, we talk football around the NFL, we talk it all, and then we also talk about recovery. We talk about recovering from illness, we talk about recovery from loss, addiction, and most important of them all, we talk about recovering your hopes and dreams. And that's something that I've been able to do over these last 90 days. I'm so excited, y'all. We're going into the third month. I was talking to Karen before this segment got started, and we were talking about how I've completed my 90 days. And like, if you have a dream or a goal or a focus, the first thing is you want to get started. And then you want to stick to it. You want to make that commitment to your dream and keep it going. And so far, I'm at that 90-day point of this dream that I've had to get out here and start talking and building my own network of communications and talking about the things that's important to me, like the Dallas Cowboys, which keeps y'all coming back and keeps a smile on my face. And as you know, I always have an inspiring guest that talks football with me. But today, we're gonna make this like a recap show, because one of the things that we like to do in recovery is we do an inventory. We like to look back at where we are, where we've been, and where we're coming from, but we also want to look at the inventory of the Dallas Cowboys and see what's been happening over the last couple of weeks since I last got to talk with you all. So let's go ahead and kick this show off, as we always do, with the Cowboys updates and takes from your boy, your man, Cowboy Chris. And the updates and the takes is we had a draft, y'all. We got some fresh blood up in the Cowboys building, and I'm so excited. I don't know how y'all feeling about the draft. I mean, I've been on Twitter and I've been on the Facebook and listening to the shows. They like to say that we're not doing anything, but I totally disagree with that, because if you really look at the draft and really look at what we did as the Cowboys, we were really smart. We got into the trenches. We took care of that line. Because one of the things that was bugging me with our team was, the trenches, basically. We were mad at our running game, but we had nothing up front that was really giving our guys some way to run. But with the first pick, we pick up Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma, and he's going to take on the role that Tyron Smith took over. That just left. Tyron went to the Jets, but we have Tyler Guyton up on the field now, and he's a rookie. He's got good feet. Some people like to say he's a project, but I don't think so. I think if we got a lot of resources with the Cowboys, and what I've been seeing is, that's one thing that I don't worry about my Cowboys is when we draft the offensive linemen. We got Hall of Famers. Travis Frederick in the first round, he's a Hall of Famer. We got Zach Martin still with us. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. We just 2 drafts ago, we drafted Tyler Smith. He's on our line, and he was an All-Pro last year. So I know that's one of the strengths of the Cowboys, and I'm just so excited that we got somebody else in those trenches to help us, get those holes and those gaps, because, we also got somebody that returned with us, Zeke Elliott. How about that? And it's funny because I don't know how I totally feel about it, but I'm excited. I think Zeke, I don't think he has lost as much of a step as some people would like to say he has, but I think what he does need is a strong line, and it looks like that's what we've been paying attention to in this draft and what we've been paying attention to in the offseason. So I'm like, okay, we got Zeke, we got the draft picks from last year, we got a couple of free agents. What was the guy we got? The name escaped me. I'm sure it'll come back to me in a minute. But we got another running back. So we got a stable. That was one of the things that I thought we were going to address in the draft, but we didn't quite do that. It looked like we went with the best player available, which I'm not mad at, because we got a whole new defensive coordinator in there. And that's one of the things that, we want to pay attention to is we got a new defensive coordinator. We want somebody in there that's stable and strong, that's going to fit his flow, because we had Dan Quinn and we were really undersized and we were fast, but now we got Mike Zimmer in there and he wants to bring bring the big boys back up on that defensive line and, have some bigger linebackers than we did than having, free safeties play linebacker like Dan Quinn did, No digs, no subs at Dan Quinn. We appreciate what he did, but, we got to change some things up, because after that playoff game, which, we all kind of went home with our heads down, the defense is the main thing that I was disappointed in. So I'm so glad that we got Mike Zimmer in there, who's going to beef up that line. And one of the other things that we got on the defensive lines, we drafted on that second pick was Marshawn Nealon out of Florida State, who's going to come up off that edge. We had to beef that up as well because we lost Dorrance Armstrong and, Fowler. They went on to be with Dan Quinn. It was a big migrating here to the DMV since Dan Quinn came up this way. And so now we had to go out and get some more resources since he took a lot of resources with him. But I'm glad to see that in the draft that we focused on that and that we're finding some ways to replace the things that we lost. So we draft Marshawn Nealon with that second round pick. And then, let me go back, because with the first round pick, and which I was really excited about, and which showed me that we were really thinking, and when I was doing the simulation draft that I was asking you all to do with me, is every time I kept getting to that 24th pick, I was like, we don't really have too many picks left, so, what are we going to do? And so my thought was, I think if we get here, the smart thing to do would be to trade back, collect some more picks, and see see if we can get some more players down the line. And that's exactly what our Cowboys did. They traded back from 24 to 29, picked up Tyler Guyton, and then with that 73rd pick in the third round, we pick up Cooper Beebe. Now he's out of Kansas State. He's a big boy in the center. We got a bigger center now, pushback, and if you watch the tape on him, I think he might be one of when I'm listening to a lot of the draft experts, that's like one of their favorite picks for us. So that's two offensive linemen that we got, instead of taking one in that, with that 24th pick, we trade back and we wind up getting two. So we got Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe on that front line. And of course, we're going to go through that learning phase. There's going to be, some challenges there. But, I'm excited. I'm like, okay, we're beefing up the line. We got two linemen. We picked up an edge with Marshawn Nealon, and then we come right back around, and then we get a linebacker, which was the main thing that we needed as well, because we were so thin in that room. So, I'm real excited about that. We got another linebacker, and then we picked up another defensive tackle in the the seventh round, and then we picked up a wide receiver who's like a big boy like Dez Bryant, Ryan Flournoy. Hopefully I said that name right, Ryan Flournoy, one of them eastern middle states out in South Carolina. So we picked him up. We got a lot of new blood in there. Haven't signed any contracts yet, all quiet on the Western fronts. But, the Cowboys, we move the needle. So whenever, I'm watching the big three-letter networks and all these other networks, they always got to talk about the Cowboys no matter what we do. So they're trying to act like we're not doing anything and saying, oh, it's quiet, it looks like they're in a rebuild. But I think all the steps that we took was there to fortify us so that we can keep pushing this thing forward, not just for this year, but for years to come. So I'm happy with what we did in the draft. I'm real excited about, what's to come for this next season, with the new coaching staff. It does look like we're being patient. We know this is a marathon, not a sprint. I'm sure we're going to sign some more people on after this draft, and I think we're going to be pretty strong. So I'm real excited about my Cowboys now. And one of the things I want to put a bid out there for all my Cowboy fans in the DMV is for y'all to hit me up. Put a message in the message box there. Let me know if you would like to come on and talk Cowboys football with me. If you've been watching and following the show, that's what I like to do. But I've had to bring on some of my friends, and not all of my friends are Cowboys fans, if you know what I mean. But I always love to talk football, just kind of get a different perspective on my Cowboys, as well as talk football and see where that passion comes from and bring out that passion that I have, and to see, if my guests have that same passion with them as well and whatnot. So that's been, some of the things that's been happening on this off season for my Dallas Cowboys. We haven't signed our quarterback yet, haven't signed Micah Parsons yet, haven't signed CeeDee Lamb, but I'm not really worried about that. I think, everybody got to earn their keep. We didn't show what we need to do at the end of the season last year, so I'm like, I can be patient. Let's take our time. Don't have to go out here and spend a whole lot of money, but yet we still a strong team. We had 12 wins last year, y'all. I mean, we still in the mix. So it's nothing that we have to really worry about or, overcompensate for, I think. We did everything we needed to do to draft, and we signed some free agents, so that's setting us up pretty. So now it's springtime. So, I don't know if you noticed that I took the jacket off for this episode and whatnot, because it's getting warm around here in the DMV. But springtime's coming. We're about to go into spring camp. The rookies are coming up this week. They're going to be coming on, and then thereafter, we're going to have the veterans come in. So, this season is coming faster than what we realize, y'all. So stay tuned. I'm gonna keep y'all posted. I know y'all like the takes that I'm giving, and I'm gonna keep y'all updated as much as I can with what's going on in the Cowboys, and I want y'all to stay posted too. But one of the things I wanted to talk about with you all today was, I always talk about how we're meeting at that intersection of healing, hope, and having a good time. And as you know, a lot of the guests that I've had on, we talk about recovery. And one of the things that we talk about in recovery is recovering your hopes, your dreams, and your vision and your purpose. Because I always say that's the granddaddy of them all. Because a lot of times once we heal ourselves from whatever affliction or addiction we got going on, or we heal ourselves from the loss that we've experienced in our lives, and healing ourselves from, just any type of grief or loss that you might have been through, then it's time to, get back to focusing on our purpose and our vision. And one of the things that's come up for me was this show right here in and of itself. Like as I kicked off the show talking about, this was one of my visions that I had back in the 90s actually, when I went to college, was to get out and do some broadcast work. But I sat it down. Life happens to us all. I had a family, I got to going, I got to working, and I was starting to see like, okay, maybe I'll do it, but I got to come back. I got to take care of my family now. Time goes on. And then last year, I'll come up to do a show here at Vision and Purpose Media Studios with my man Lee, who was one of the guests here early in the season for Recover the Ball. And met Karen. We started talking about this concept for Recover the Ball. She thought it was great. And I was like, okay, here's another opportunity to recover that vision and that purpose and the dream that I had years ago about doing some broadcast work, interviewing, having a good time, talking with folks that like to talk about the things that I like to talk about, which is the transformation of life, things that are going on within inside of us, things that help us grow to be better, things that are gonna motivate us and inspire us, those types of things. And so, I'm real excited. For a long time before I even got back into it, I was procrastinating. A lot of us like to get our ducks in a row, as they say and whatnot. And that was one of the things that I spent a long time doing. I kept saying, okay, well, I'm gonna start, after I get my Instagram account set up. I didn't have one of those. I said, I'm gonna start, once I get my Twitter account set up. Or, I gotta get some cameras, I gotta get some equipment, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And then, after meeting Karen and talking with Lee, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna tell them what I wanna do and just start. Let's see where the journey is gonna take me. And that's all I did. And that's one of the things I want to encourage for all of y'all that's been tuning in to Recover the Ball is to just start. I mean, I know some of y'all might have heard that before, and they weren't lying. Let me just say, I am a believer. It's something that I've seen for myself. I said, okay, I don't have everything together that I think I need to have together to get this thing going. I was like, no, I've met someone that has a studio. They believe in the vision like I do. Let me tell them about it. Let me share it with them, and let's see what happens. Signed up, we got started, and here we are, 3 months later, and what episode is this? I think this is the 6th or 7th episode that we've done. I'm losing track now. That shows you how far we've come when I can't even keep count now, and had some extraordinary people come on and support. You would be surprised the gateway that will open up for you if you just start. When I just started, I was like, okay, man, I just got going, and here it is, 3 months later, I have all these episodes in the can, things that I can chop up and, make some reels with and play with in the social media space that that I didn't have 3 months ago, you know what I mean? So that's number one. One thing I want to encourage everybody that's out there that's trying to recover their hopes and their dreams is to just start. That's number one, just to get going. And the second thing that I noticed, and I was talking with Wesley about this before the show got going, was, I noticed as soon as I got started, that's when everything started to I don't want to say get in the way. That's not a good word for it, because they were blessings in and of themselves. I'll just put it to you like this. I started Recover the Ball, and then the job that I do, 9 to 5, they liked the work that I was doing there. They were like, okay, Chris, we want to promote you, Cowboy Chris. We like your energy. We like what you're bringing. And I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and take this promotion on. And my other job that I had another job that I was supporting, and they was like, Chris, we really want to keep you around. We like the work that you're doing, and we want to support Recover the Ball. So we'll, see if we can filter guests towards you and support this dream. Yet and still, they were all blessings, But yet, I started seeing I was becoming stressed. You know, it was like, okay, man, I done started this thing, and this, you know, this vision, it's not easy. You know what I mean? It's something that I said I wanted to do, but it's not, you know, the vision that you have in your mind, you have to keep that, you know, to the forefront, that you know, that goal, the drive, you know, that vision, whatever that picture is in your mind that you're like, yes, that's what it is that I want to do. You definitely have to keep that at the forefront, because as you start to go for it, there are going to be those things that pop up that are good, bad, or indifferent, that are going to seem like they may be in the way of you taking those steps towards you achieving that goal that you wanted to get to. And that's something that, you know, I seen it happen with me. Just as I started Recover the Ball, I was like, wow, I got promoted. You know, I'm still doing the work with the nonprofit. It's like, man, I don't really feel like I have a lot of time on my hand. You know, I don't feel like I can do all this. But I kept listening to that voice inside me that said, keep going, don't stop. This is, you know, it's not going to be easy. Anything worth having is worth working for. You know, I pulled on all those things that I heard, you know, throughout this journey of life, period, and said, okay, this is the time that I get to apply all those messages. You know, sometimes we hear people say things and we get a lot of messages that come down and come to us, and we say, yeah, it sounds good. Oh yeah, man, that sounds real good. But you know, when the rubber meets the road is when you have to take those sayings that you've heard and then apply it right in those situations where it's like, okay, it's tight now. I've asked for this. We got to record on Monday. I got to hunt down my next guest. I got to, you know, make sure I got all the notes down so when I interview them, you know, I sound good. You know, all the nerves start to bubbling up for me. But what I've noticed is, as I've kept pushing through, kept taking my time with it, and the people that I've had on were so phenomenal that it's like, you know, I've created a spirit here at Recover the Ball that people know when they come on here, we're going to have a good time. We're going to talk football. We're going to talk about the things that are important in life. And then they get to share their story. They get to share what they may be recovering from and get to be on this journey with me and just be able to do the transformational work for all of you all that sit there and watch and enjoy the takes. So, man, I've been so excited about this journey. And so I said, well, today, what we get to do is we get to look back. We get to take an inventory of the shows that we've been doing. And, you know, I'm still, you know, really excited about this journey and what's to come for it. So that's what we've been doing here so far at Recover the Ball. What we're going to do right now is we're going to take a break and come back and have more discussion about this journey of Recover the Ball with Cowboy Chris, so that you all can continue to see what's been unfolded in the backdrop and continue to take this journey with me. I appreciate y'all continuing to tune in, and we're going to continue to vibe on. Stay tuned as we take this commercial break. This is Cowboy Chris with Recover the Ball. Stay tuned. Back new cadence. Here we go. You know, that's going viral the whole nine. So you're now rocking with Cowboy Chris and Recover the Ball, where we're going to be talking football. We're going to talk recovery and being at that intersection of healing, hope, and having a good time, folks. I want you to give me 15 minutes and then give me the last 15 minutes and then check out at least 3 episodes, and I'm sure you'll be convinced that this is the show that you want to rock with great Cowboys content. We're going to be talking recovery, we're going to talk in life, because, you know, in life, we're trying to not only, you know, root on our teams, and we're not only talking about recovery from substance abuse, we're talking about recovery. There's a lot of people out there trying to recover their dreams, trying to recover that hope, trying to recover that purpose. And we're going to do that here on Recover the Ball with Cowboy Chris. I'm going to have great guests, like my great guest I have here now, Karen. She's going to rock with me, and we're going to be doing great things here at Recover the Ball with Cowboy Chris. Tune in. Welcome back to the second segment of Recover the Ball with your grateful and gracious host, Cowboy Chris. And in this second segment, as we always do, we talk about recovery. We talk about recovery from loss. We talk about recovery from addiction. We talk about recovering your vision, your purpose, and your dreams. And that's what we've been talking about mostly here today. And keeping with that theme, I had to bring back somebody to the show. Now, if you've been paying attention real close, you probably noticed her in the commercial segment as well. And she's somebody that's been helping me take this journey, and I wanted to bring her back when we're doing the recap show so she can give a little feedback to me as well in terms of how this journey has looked to her. I get another objective eye here as we talk about, recovering the ball with Cowboy Chris. So I'd like to welcome back to the show my first guest, one of my favorite guests, is Karen McConnell Jones. Welcome back to the show, Karen.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Indeed,
What's
indeed.
going on?
Everything is great. I want to thank you. I first got to say thank you for, just seeing what I was seeing in terms of what this could be, and and pushing me. You've been pushing me these last 3 months to say, Chris, you got this, you got that, let me know what you need. And, you can do this. Don't worry about it. And it's those type of voices we need when we're on that mission and whatnot. And so I wanted to bring you back on this recap show so you could give a recap yourself, what your experience has been producing Recover the Ball. But before we get there, because you are in the clan. I got a Cowboy fan with me today, y'all. No Commander fan, no Green Bay Packer fan. We've been going through a little stream of that, so I had to make it more home-like for me. So I had to bring back a Cowboy fan onto the show.
Back.
That's right, get some flavor back. Bring the star back to the room and whatnot. So,
yes.
So I gotta ask you, what you think about our Cowboys? How the offseason been looking to you?
I tell you, this could be great. It really can. And every team always say that. But really, I'm telling you the truth. This can be great. I know sometimes we question Jerry Jones and what is he doing? Is he making everybody? Oh, let me tell you, I got so much flack. Oh, what y'all doing? Y'all gave up a quarterback. Y'all gave it to Philly, and Philly picked up this and that. You know what? But at the end of the day, like you said, if you asking me from my perspective, I really think we had to heavy up that, our offense.
Yes,
that front line.
To bulk up that line.
Yes,
indeed.
Come on now, that's important. You know what I'm saying? And I think our defense is pretty good. It's pretty strong. So if I'm looking at where the improvement need to go at first, and I'm definitely going to say on the offense, and definitely I'm going to say that front line. You got to have that. You got to have that right beef there.
It's not always the sexy pick. People want to say, oh, what receiver did you get? Or y'all didn't draft a running back or something like that. But it all begins in the trenches.
Right,
it all begins in the trenches.
And and that's because at the end of the day, just think about it. Just in general, you got to get down in the trenches to get it done. Right?
That's right.
So to me, that's only fitting for football. And right now where we are.
Right.
So to have that, I'm looking for some high hopes.
Us and 31 other teams, right? That all season, we like, oh.
I'm looking for some high hopes. With the getting down in the trenches. So I think for me, I just think that was a smart move. Because maybe that because he getting a little season now. He ain't as young as he used to be, and then after you have a couple of injuries and be injury prone, you're a little scared out there. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. He playing scared a little bit, sometimes, but I still think he got a lot in it. He can get definitely down in his trench and just be more comfortable when he got better protection.
Exactly.
If he know he being protected,
especially up in that front.
You can stay in that pocket and just
that big boy they drafted. Cooper, he's bigger than Tyler Biadasz. He's like a little tree stump. I was like, okay, good. Dak don't have to have somebody up in his lap, after he hiked the ball and whatnot.
Exactly. And then that helps on the running back. That helps with the running as well. So now y'all running back, and then we got Zeke, because right now I couldn't wait to get to this one. Cause everybody, not everybody, everybody know how I felt about getting rid of my boy. Zeke. Gotta feed him. So now I'm dying to see what that's gonna look like because as I was saying, I love my boy. He did what he can do. But Zeke is it. Because for me, I just thought our running back. He did the best he could. He started getting a little hot towards the end a little bit. But
I think he was like that. He was injured, so I think he didn't get hot to the end because he was still
go ahead and take up for him. That too.
Yeah. Well, we'll see for sure.
Yeah, we'll see for sure. Yeah. But to me, he just never. I
think he needed a compliment. I don't disagree with you on that. He definitely needed somebody to compliment him.
Because you had Zeke there, so he looked good. But him being now the starter, it just wasn't as strong to me. And then Zeke, Zeke know how to do that pass protection, man. And I think that was something.
Oh yeah, that's big. That's big.
Come on now.
People don't realize that.
Zeke, that boy, he crazy. He'll go out there and he'll knock up something for you. He'll go block something for you, And I think that's what was missing, with Pollard as well, So Zeke, he kind of give us a more of a grounded kind of game, around it,
And most of the teams have a running back by committee anyway. It's not really no one back. Unless even with the Niners, they got Christian McCaffrey, but they always got somebody in there that can spell that back. You need a stable of backs.
Up there in New England. Come on back home. Come home, baby. You're back home.
So you're gonna get a 15 jersey?
Well,
he's 15 now. He ain't gonna be 21 like before.
Yes. But you add it all up, it's all good, right?
Yeah.
21 to 15 mean it's all good.
Yeah, I feel you. And I think I'm glad Zeke's back too, in the sense of especially if we go to where I hope we go to, the high hopes that you have.
Yes.
I would want him to be a part of that. Him and Dak came in together, and it'd be nice to see them achieve the highest of this game together as well and whatnot. On that note,
it could be a great 1-2 punch. If like you said, if we did good and just holding down that front line now. I'm telling you, it could be something beautiful come out of there, and definitely with the other key players that we had too, because I like the fact that we always, try to keep a nice little tight end. I think, our little tight end, he was coming into
Ferguson.
Ferguson. He was coming to his own little game, looked like a little baby Whitney out there. You know what I'm saying? So you got all these things.
And he played with heart too. I like that. He got that. And that was a big part of the draft too. A lot of guys, they come in with attitude. We come in with some, and that's we've been crying for that for a while. We have some talented players, but we need some some bad guys. You know what I'm saying? Some attitude, some grit, some ain't afraid to shake some things up and whatnot. And you could see that was part of the theme as they were drafting. All them boys was like, he a wrestler. He a fighter. So he uses, they coming in there with like a wild man. I said, okay, I see what y'all going for now.
I'm telling you, I think we really gonna be surprising this year. I really do. And look, go ahead on and address the ugly elephant in the room. We get past that, more than the first round of playoffs.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We got to get past the first round.
We got to get to the NFC Championship. I think if we get there, then Mike McCarthy can save his job. They'll re-sign Dak for another contract. I think, because they want to make that investment to knowing that we progressing. They don't want to make no investment on something that keeps doing the same thing, the definition of insanity,
And can't get to that next level, because this year is the tell-all,
Yes, indeed.
Like you said, whether Dak, whether he going to get re-signed or not, whether we need to keep this coach or not,
he's on his last contract.
I think this year is a very important year. So, and just having some new fresh energy, new fresh blood, like you said, they come in with some grit now,
yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They come
some attitude.
They come in with some attitude,
yes, indeed.
The rookie come in with some attitude. So I'm really looking forward to it. The only thing, about seeing in the end of the summer, because right now we get ready for our spring summer, but the best thing about the summer being over with, it is time for some football. I love my football. So, I tell you, I can't wait, so around end of July, August, like, preseason.
Here we go. Yes, indeed.
Back in boot camp, preseason.
Right.
And then now September, okay, this is some football. So your mind is getting dark early now.
Right. Staying a little longer than,
I was talking to my friend who I'm recovering from when we're going to get to the recovery part.
Okay.
I'm recovering from, all right.
Got you.
So I was with my friend this weekend, And believe it or not, we was just saying that. I was like, God, it's May, and I'm missing my football already. You know, she's like, I want some more football. So it's just funny how, you know, when you really into a certain sport, it's just like in your blood.
Right.
And I think because it just made us anxious, because, you know, because it was the draft last week.
Yeah, they got us excited again.
So, you know, it looked like, we ain't gonna say nothing about them Commanders don't pick up everything we don't got rid of, right? You know what I'm saying? Oh, did I say that? Can they hear that?
You're right.
Oh, did they hear that?
Well, you know, they can have our leftovers. You know, we don't mind that. We'll share the leftovers.
Our leftovers, okay?
Right.
But we ain't gonna tell them
We ain't gonna tell them that, right?
Right. You know, so that's why I was like, you know, go ahead on. They tried it before.
They tried. They got a new coach. They took our old coach and took our old players, and you know, and then they drafted a quarterback in the first round and whatnot.
Yes.
So I'm sure they got high hopes and when, you know, with the quarterback coming in. So
I'm
we'll see. It'll be big fun at FedEx Stadium, I'm sure, when you know, whenever we get to meet.
And I'm you know, as far as the quarterback part go, I'm just excited. I'm happy for them, see what they're gonna do. But it just seems like, you know, every time the Commanders they get a nice, good, you know, good round of a quarterback, they just don't do nothing good with them, you know. So
come for a minute, you know. RG3 was like a comet. He just came, he flashed, and then injuries. But you know, that's a whole nother story. But we ain't worried about that. That's their problems. We let them worry about that.
Right, exactly. All they need to do, I just know one thing. They better catch up. They
gotta
keep
catch up.
They better keep up with us, because we on the road. So with that being said, you know, I'm just so excited just to see your growth. Is it time to talk about that?
Yeah, let's go. We can go ahead and kick off the recovery side. Yeah, because you know, we've been doing this 90 days, as you said. I'm like, man, wow, we've come 90 days now. And you know, as I started out, I was, you know, you did it. Look, y'all, Karen's over here imitating me nowadays. You know, she said.
You know,
she was telling me about myself as, you know, from one episode to the next and whatnot. You know, I let her share, you know.
Can I do it
how the journey's been? Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll take a couple jabs.
I love doing impressions. I just love doing impressions. Okay, so guys, here's my impression of Cowboy Chris. So this is the beginning. So we doing, because I love this, we doing your 90 days. You know, you made it through the 90-day probation period, right? That's what we call it.
Right.
So at the beginning, you know, you'll come in, and I mean literally pace this floor back and forth.
I want to do good for y'all. It's all for you. It's all for you.
Wesley and we can see it. You will pace this floor back and forth with your little note card. And then, you know, I can see it in your head that you're going through it, you know, hey, welcome to the show, you know. So I can see you going through it. So when you sit down, you bring your note cards, you have them in your hand, you know, try to remember everything. And I can literally see it in you. And I'm like, Chris, relax, you know. Just do you. It's going to come.
Right.
And, you know, and then at the end of session, you know, and so then now, okay, there we end. We in the 90 days in. So now this is Chris. No cards in the hand. I'm sitting here. Welcome to the show, y'all.
Welcome to the show. We family now. Oh, you know how you gotta get, you know,
talking
get
with
comfortable.
Cowboy Chris. You know what I'm gonna do today. I'm just gonna go over a little something. You know how I do it. I like to tell you, give you some updates and highlights, because you know this is how we do it here. You know, because you know you talking with Cowboy Chris. We got a good show for you. I just want you to stay tuned. You know, we be right back, because you know what you recovering from. I was like. That's what I'm talking about. He in the zone. He in his flow. I mean, everything is clicking on all cylinders, and it feel good, you know.
It does. It does.
And just to hear you say, like, when you came in, you know, and I can just see that smile and joy in your face, because you were sitting in on my show and Mr. Lee. You was a guest with Mr. Lee. And so afterward, you know, we staying here, we talking, and you would say, I always want. I was like, what about that word, I always want? You can do a show. Come on. You know,
that's right.
And let's do this. And you went out of here, and I can see it. I said, you know what? Because I talk to so many people that say they want to do their show, but how many follow up?
follow through.
I can just count on my hand how many follow through.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I had no doubt when you walked out that door that you was going to come back and follow up on your show, on this show, and do it. And look at you. You're 90 days in. You know, you had some phenomenal guests on here.
Man.
Oh, man.
Yes.
So what stick out? So as soon as I ask you, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Can I interview you a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, Cowboy Chris. You know, let's see what I got for you.
Okay, yes. So, what can you say has been the most exciting part of pushing past the limitations and saying, wow, now I'm doing this? You know, I want to start there first. So what can you say that really just keep you going and say, you know what, I'm glad I have, followed my dream?
I would say, well, we go back to what I said in the first segment, is starting. Like, that just in and of itself, like, felt like it took off like 100 pounds already, you know, like a big weight off by, starting to take a step, and then take another step, and that was really exciting. And I think now, the most exciting part has been just the practice of it all. Like, as you said, just watching myself grow, watching myself progress. Like, I appreciate the feedback you just you gave me. And yet at the same time, as I watched, I was like, I can get better. I can do better. There's different things that I can do, that I see. And it's funny because a lot of times you have an idea in your head and you go, you start to do it, but it does not necessarily look how it looks in your head. But with discipline and consistency and continue to practice, you get better and you feel more comfortable with it. And that's another thing, just watching my own discipline around trying to get better around the show. That's been exciting for me personally. Just watching my own discipline and saying, like, oh, you can follow through on this. You can do this, Chris. You're not going, you're not procrastinating like you had been for so long. You're actually doing it. And then I'll have to say, now I'm giving you three of them. The other exciting part has been the guests themselves, because what I really see is when another person sits across from me and they sit there, and sometimes I may know a little bit about their story already, and the synergy, and it's like almost like a spirit comes down, and we get to talking, and it's like a flow. And that's one of the things that kind of helped me let go of the cards a little bit, because I come with a plan and I know what the points that I want to hit. But at the same time, as I've been doing it, and I could just, it's like almost you can feel that moment in the show where, okay, the spirit's here, they're flowing, I'm flowing, and it's going to be a good show. You know what I mean? So watching that like kind of blossom as the show gets going. That's been real exciting.
And so, and for me, I would say the most exciting part was that of course my show was the pilot show, not the show I was on. That was just the pilot show to introduce what you was doing. But that very first show, that we aired with you and your guests, that was it for me, because then for me it was like, okay, he's officially at this now. And then to see, I
believe that was we had Ronaldo and Moselle.
And so outside of the guests, to me, the superstars are the guests that come on the show. And then outside of the guests, the real true superstars are your viewers. So, man, to see your viewers, they on that Facebook, hey, I'm proud of you. You got this. Man. You doing your thing. Man. That is the true superstars of the show. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
And for them to come back every other week and make sure they give you that love and support. So this 90 days is for you guys. No doubt. First night watching you all respond to him, encouraging him, it has been wonderful. So that was my highlight. That was my exciting moment for you. And then the second exciting moment for you is when I didn't have to ask you for a storyboard no more. So I'm gonna tell you, that's when you know that you was in your zone. Because that was part of it. Because that storyboard it just gives you the direction and guideline that you need. And then you eventually will figure it out. Stop trying to remember verbatim from every
detail.
Single thing. And just hit your points, just know your bulletin points, and just go from there. And just let it flow. Because one thing about your show is just so relaxing. People feel right at home. So once the hosts relax and feel at home, your guests relax and feel at home. So when I saw you put down them note cards and wasn't sitting over no storyboard. I ain't see. You notice I ain't asked you.
Right. You stopped asking me.
Yeah. So, and I think, and the last part, the best part for me is, you took your debrief. You took the debriefing very well.
Okay.
So, every Monday after, we air and finish filming. I always like to give it to you while it's fresh. What I see. What hey Chris, let's try this. Let's tweak it here. And you was just absorbing. You just wanted that.
Yes.
You look forward to, just giving that feedback, and it was just so few things that we had to tweak, because you naturally came in and well prepared. You're one of the first people that I have worked with that was so prepared. Because sometimes Wesley can tell you that people come to us and want to do a show and that's all they know. They just want to do a show.
They just want to do a show,
right.
Yeah.
So you had done your homework, you had searched, you seen people, watched people, kind of had a feeling how you wanted your show to go, because you're a big sports person, and not only that, you saw how you can bring something different to yours, by having a recovery
part. A little nuance to it.
Yes, and and even now, how you still just say how you watch and study the other people that shows that you like, so you did your homework. And you came in really knowing how you wanted your show to look, how you wanted to go, even down to your logo.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. I remember that phone call. I was like, I think I want, and one show if I could get it, but closed mouths don't get fed, y'all. You gotta speak up and say, okay, I think I'm seeing this. So
now that my next question is going to be, so who is when I ask you this, the first guest that come to mind, who was that outstanding guest that just stood out for you?
I would have to say it's two people. I got two people.
Okay,
I got two people. I would say Coach Nick, Dominic Colbert. He was phenomenal. I like how he shared. He stood out to me. Everybody stood out, and my man Lee. I can't leave my man Lee. Lee, I just always get wrapped up when he talks. That's my man right there. And so it's like
he got that voice.
He has the voice, and we got the talk, and it's just like. And I always like to hear what he has to say. And I like all my guests. I love what they had to share. But I have to say those two, really stood out to me as far as, the energy and the, I feel bad. I just say it too. but at the same time, it's like, those are the ones that came to mind first. I just remember how I was feeling, and I was just like, oh, wow, okay,
Yeah, because even when going back to Mr. Lee, and I think, because Nick,
Coach Nick.
Coach Nick, awesome, outstanding.
Yeah.
But Mr. Lee, I think, you was like, and it was good that he didn't come because he supposed to have came at the beginning.
Right.
And he didn't, so you had a chance to have a couple of episodes under your belt by the time Mr. Lee came.
Exactly.
And so I really liked that chemistry with you and Mr. Lee, and it was great for you because I can tell you respect him in the sense of, just your work relationship, your business relationship, personal relationship you have with, but more in the fact that the relationship that, wow, you brought me here and thank you. That's what I saw in you that night in that show. So it
grateful and gracious. I got to practice it at every step of the way.
Because you the what?
Gratitude take you a long way, folks. Let me tell you. Got to be grateful.
Grateful, gracious, grateful host. And I love that you put that in there. I was like, wow. You very comfortable and confident in what it is that you want to say. Your deliverance and everything. It's just everything.
Oh, thank you.
I was like, man, gracious, God, I wouldn't have never thought, if I can be real, a male to say that, and I know that's what most people probably say. He said gracious, grateful host. I was like, let me find out.
Well, it's funny as you say that.
You're spiritual, you don't mind showing, where your blessings lie.
No doubt. No doubt.
So that's what I looked at, because being on a show, you talking something so macho, and to say you are a gracious, grateful host.
No doubt.
So now we're going to have to, why I keep saying that?
Why?
Branding, because now they're going to have to go back and look at your shows and watch and see that you say
that I said that every time. Right. Did he say this time?
Yes.
Right.
It's each and every time.
Yes.
And that's what I picked up on right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Each and every time that has been part of what your opening line or what you say.
Yeah, I really wanted that to be the opening line because one, gratitude has always been a theme of mine in life. Taught by my parents, but I just saw how it worked.
What is gratitude to you?
What is gratitude to me? Gratitude for me, it's almost everything because it's like for me, it grounds me into a sense of humility to know that nothing is given, and it's being grateful. And the second part of when I say gracious is because when I say gracious, it helps me to think about the grace that I have been given to have another shot at this. This show, have another shot at life. I shared my recovery story earlier. It's like, I know that it is through grace that I'm able to have another chance. And so I have to be grateful and I have to humble myself, to something greater than myself so that, the blessings can continue to come and that I can be even more powerful in my service, because if I understand that in my own mind that none of this is given, none of this is, this don't have to be, you know what I mean? I feel special at times, but it could be anybody else sitting in this chair, you know what I'm saying? But I've been afforded, the grace and, the blessing and the opportunity, that for me at this point in my life, it's like, I have to be grateful and I have to show that gratitude. I have to show that's how I show appreciation is through my gratitude and understanding that, the grace that I've been given, I want to afford that to somebody else. And that's why I invite, the people that I do on here, because I'm like, you all are amazing. I want somebody else to, hear your story and share that with somebody so that we share this grace. We share this gratitude with others and they see that, they too can focus on their, dreams and purposes as well and whatnot. So that's why.
But no, that is wonderful, and and I just think that's where we are right now. We need to be a society that it's okay to show our vulnerability. It's okay to show where our blessings lie and how grateful we are for our blessings. And to see it come from real men in real time.
No doubt. That's right.
That just touches my heart because one thing. When you leave, gonna know two things about Karen. She crazy about some football, but number one, I am just into, my God. I just really know just where my blessing lies. That's why even in names and things that I like to pick and brand, I'm very careful about that. Like the company, vision and purpose.
Vision and purpose, yes.
Come on now.
That's what stood. That's what attracted me to you all as well. As well, I was just like I said, vision and purpose.
Yes.
Because one of my affirmations I say to myself is, is about vision and purpose.
Yes.
Make sure I stay focused on my vision, my purpose, and my dreams.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was no coincidence that I would walk into a vision and purpose studio. I'm like, okay, one of my favorite colors is purple. I was like, okay, it's too many. Okay, I hear you talking, God. I hear you talking.
Confirmation, yes.
And then you were a Dallas Cowboy fan. I was like, oh man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You ain't got to,
Yeah,
it's funny. I always say that my higher power, that's how he speaks to me.
Yeah,
it's like, it's little nudges. It's not like a big knock upside the head. It's like, do you notice this, Chris?
Yes.
Do you notice that, Chris? Do you notice that, Chris?
Yeah.
You might want to try and,
sending you little confirmations, along the way the whole time. Because once you make your mind up or you at a place that you just really like, it send you a chance to, like you said, come back and get a redo or do over. You be like, I'm going to take this chance this time. I'm going for it this time.
Got to.
And so, and that's what vision and purpose is all about. That's why, with my tagline, always in my show, any show you see me, I always say, just see the vision and continue to live the purpose. Yes, and I love and that too keeps me going, because I gotta continue to see the vision, while living the purpose.
No doubt.
And that is just so true and humbling for me, to remind me that when God and that's just me wanting to be obedience, to God when He put a purpose on my heart. If I don't do it, I feel like I'm being disobedient.
Oh, man.
You know, and one thing, I don't want to recover from that one, you know.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Those whippings are a little bit more sore than the other ones.
They last a little longer.
Man,
yeah,
you know, the emotions, like, the exact, all that is just like, oh no.
They last a little longer
they
when
do.
You know, when you've been a little disobedient to what,
right.
what he called you to do.
That's
you know, because you know, it lasts with you a little longer, because then you're going through that if or woulda shoulda stage, you know, and that's me myself. I'm too faithful. My faith in him is everything. My belief in him is everything. You know, so I never would go. I never would go through this life on the if I coulda, woulda, shoulda. Okay,
I know that's right.
I'm saying it, and this is gonna be on air for anybody who's listening and recovering from anything, or think you such a failure, or you fail, or I just don't have it in me.
Right.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Right.
Will I ever go through life on the if I woulda, coulda, shoulda. Because everything that God had placed on my heart to do, I have done it. I don't wait to see how the outcome gonna look. I don't wait to see if the ducks gonna line up, or whatever you always say, and dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Yeah.
You know, because weight broke the wagon down. You know, that's one of the old sayings I learned from the old school people. You know what I'm saying?
Weight broke the wagon down. I like that. I gotta add that to my repertoire. Weight broke the wagon down. Okay, I get that now.
Weight broke the wagon down.
Someone Charlie Powell said.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because if you keep waiting, it piled up. You know, and you're not moving. And then, you know, for real, you know, we probably don't even realize it. You know, self-consciously, you know, you wondering why you're not feeling your best in life, because half of the time, you know, when you don't follow your dreams, you die. You know, so you know, so you know, it's a recovery point from that. And that's just put one foot in forward and do it. You know, and don't and get rid of the dream busters that run. Oh, well, how you gonna get that done? Well, where that's gonna come from? Because you know, they can play on you. You know, because you know what? Sometimes when people don't see themselves and see how they can do it, then they the first to tell somebody else what they can't do. Right. You know, so in my household, it wasn't
no.
Can't, but that was a word we couldn't. That was a cuss word.
Okay.
All right. You can't cuss in my house. So
no, that's right.
Try. And tied. Them are 3 cuss words.
Tired? You can't be tired neither.
Nah. Tired make you lazy.
Okay.
Tired make you lazy. You keep sitting up here, you got to recover from tired.
Okay.
Because tired would make you lazy.
I got you. Okay.
You keep talking about how tired. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Oh, I'm so tired. Guess what you're going to do? You're going to live life and move around tired. You're going to half do this, half do that, because you're so tired. You're not going to complete something because you're so tired.
That's so powerful what you're saying right now to me. I feel like it's, you know, everything's in divine order because that's something I need to hear right now.
Oh, yes.
Because me and Wesley were talking before, and as I was sharing with the listeners early on, it was like, once I decided to take this on, you know, many other things opened up for me, and I was like, okay, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to press through.
Right, exactly.
But I did, you know, that reservation in my mind of like, oh, but I need to rest. I'm tired. You know, I've been doing all this. I've been doing all that.
Yes.
And just letting that go, letting that thought go of I'm tired. It's like, okay, not to say I don't need rest or, you know, the body needs to, you know, recuperate. I need to eat, you know, do those fundamentals. But at the same time, not have that as a mindset, though. Don't have that in my lexicon, my go-to, you know, as an excuse as to why I'm going to wait. Or procrastinate, or you know, put things off and whatnot because I'm tired and whatnot.
You're tired. And that's I mean, really, this weekend I had a super packed weekend. You know, super packed weekend. Okay. And so you know, I had to work for the office of the sheriff. We did a walk. I had to do some things. We filming for production for our documentary, mental health documentary. Then I rent the place out for all occasions, so we have a baby shower. Oh, and guess what? I'm a decorator too. So I saw. I was very impressed. So now I worked all day on Saturday because the baby shower was Sunday. I worked all day on Saturday, and I came in do the decoration Saturday night. Guess what time I finished? Sunday morning, when it was time for me to go home, take a shower, go to church. Then after church, well, guess what I had to do? Come right on back here to the studio, let the people in, because it's time to have a baby shower from 3 to 6. And so by the time we broke everything down and I got home, it was like 9:30 last night. And so then I was like, okay, I think now I can go get some rest.
Right.
I went and got in the shower, and I passed out. So I was talking to my friend, Tracy, just throwing her in here too. So she was like, oh, I know what that means. You're going to be late for work. She was talking about today. We was talking yesterday, last night. I said, girl, I can't wait to walk these dogs. Oh, my God, because I got my little babies. So I was walking my dogs. I said, I can't wait to get back in the house. I'll take a shower, and I got to hit the bed. I still ain't say tired. I said, I got to hit the bed.
Okay.
So then she was like, oh, so that means you're going to be late coming in to work tomorrow. Nope. No, I ain't putting that in my spirit.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I got there with 2 minutes to spare too, so that was good for me. So no, I don't. My mom always taught us that that's a cuss word. Tired is a cuss word.
Is. Yeah.
It just help break the wagon down.
Break the wagon down. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
That's it. So, but now I was like, today I'm just teasing. I was like, man, I'm recovering. Tell me this for you. You got me recovering from that baby shower.
The baby shower,
That thing kicked me in my tail, but I did it. And and everybody was so happy. I mean, to see my girlfriend happy, her daughter, the fiance, the family, friends. It was just beautiful. Yeah. It's just a beautiful
thing. And those are things that energize us as well. Being able to be, you'd be surprised at the service that you commit to. You'd be surprised at how you'll become energized. From you think you're tired, but then it's like, but when you commit and go and stick to your word, you'd be surprised where the energy comes from and whatnot.
And this, even with this show, you do a 4-day and then you coming in the studio, putting in the work, and that's what I like. So, so 90 days. I'm going to start calling you Mr. 90 Days.
Mr. 90 Days.
So Mr. 90 Days.
Yes.
You got past the probation period.
Right.
What can we, I'm excited. Can we, I tell them what we expect to see, in the next phase of this show. Oh man, this show is about to blow up. You wait till his guests come on in here. So it's going to be great. We are getting some guests that's just going to be like phenomenal.
Yes, indeed.
Blowing your mind. As a matter of fact, starting with Coach Blue that's coming.
Yes.
Nets, and then we got
that's right.
He's gonna be your Nets guest.
Right.
Oh, that's get ready to be fun and interesting.
Indeed.
Yes, and then we have Joe. He's gonna come back and be a guest on the show. Firefighter. So recovering from being burned second and third degree. So it's
gonna be exciting.
Yes,
I have my man. The guy that's gonna be coming on, Greg. I can't wait. Greg Curry. He was somebody, we had this dream together. We did broadcast school together. I can't wait to have him on the shed because we both kind of been walking the same paths. We lost contact about 14 years.
Oh, wow.
And then back in 2014, we reconnected, and it was just like, and so I said, I gotta have my brother Greg on here to share, and he's a natural at this as well and whatnot.
Yes, and I'm telling you, you should be proud.
And Tobal the Griot, he's coming on too. He does phenomenal.
I think that may sound familiar. I think I know him.
I think you might know him too and whatnot. We all got a mutual friend and whatnot. Yes.
And I'm telling you, I just love it. Like I said, we're gonna do some great things, guys. As he say, you want to reach out, be a guest, but stay tuned, follow, or even we're gonna be remote. We taking the show on the road. That's the last thing we want to say. So if you got a sports lounge and you want us to come there and record live from your sports line, just reach out to us, let us know. I mean, it's gonna be some things happening with this show, because this show
we just getting started, y'all. We just getting started.
It's getting started.
Just getting going. I'm so excited. I'm like, hey,
take us home.
Take us home. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm like excited.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some phenomenal shows coming up, and thanks again, Karen, for recapping. And, you always got to have those points where we're,
I got to come back.
You got to look back every now and then to look back and say, okay, because next, you got to come back 180 days and say, okay, you'll be calling me Mr. 180 Days at that point.
Yes,
but
6 months.
Indeed. As always, y'all, please continue to tune in to us every second and fourth Monday of the month. And just tune in to have a good time with me, talking football, talking recovery, talking life. I enjoy you all. Continue to give the feedback that you do, and I'll see y'all in a couple of weeks. This is Recover the Ball with Cowboy Chris. Peace.